First comes love, then comes marriage, and then there was a baby and a baby carriage. We're breaking it all down for you for this week's episodes of Days of Our Lives on AfterBuzz TV's DISHIN Days, coming up next.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, all of you Days of Our Lives fans. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's DISHIN Days, where we give you a full recap of this week's episodes of Days of Our Lives. I'm your host, Tony Moore, and I am joined by my one gaggle gal who just messed up my intro, and I can't use this for my reel.
I didn't mess up, no.
You coughed!
I messed up? Oh, sorry, my bad.
I'm just kidding. That used to be a running joke that I would always try to do stuff for my reel, and it never made it.
You just made a new reel.
Well, you know, she's always making reels.
Okay. I'm Michael Mattis, by the way.
Did you forget who you were for a second?
For a minute, yeah.
Yeah, you
did.
did.
The heat's getting to me.
Well, the heat is on. Thank you guys for tuning in live. If you haven't already, make sure you like us and follow us on all social media platforms.
Yes.
We are DISHIN Days on Instagram and Twitter, and _ DISHIN Days. Wait. Oh my God, I said that wrong for the first time. We are DISHIN Days on Instagram and Facebook, and _ DISHIN Days on Twitter. The @ is implied. And if you are listening to us on iTunes, hey, thank you for tuning in. And make sure you leave us 5 stars and a wonderful comment on how much you like us and love us and want more of us. And if you are a huge fan of the genre of soaps, we have the Young and the Restless recap for you, the Restless Wrap, and a General Hospital recap, the GH Report. All coming up right after our lovely little show.
Yes.
And those announcements have been brought to you by the kind folks here at AfterBuzz TV. All right, Michael Mattis, what did you think of this week's episodes of Days?
Like some of it, didn't like some of it.
It's like another info week.
It was an info week. There was
where
some
things were just happening, and we were just kind of going along.
I loved Claire and her fake enthusiasm, which we'll get more into later. But she was cracking me up this week, and I want this this mayor storyline to be over with. I'm kind of getting over it now.
There's some thoughts, but I thought this week was definitely an info week. I thought everyone just gave us information pertaining to their storyline, and I thought we had again some great moments, some hilarious moments, some aha moments, some what moments, and we're going to talk about it all now. So now it's time to start
DISHIN Days.
Michael Mattis. Oh, Steve.
I don't even know what that was.
But
I knew the airplane, but what was the...
I suddenly picture Steve in the booth now just cracking up at his sound effects, which I absolutely love.
That was packaging tape, and then a stamp being slapped on the box,
and a stamp being shipped away.
Hey, for shipping.
Oh gosh,
we're shipping.
Shout out to Steve in the booth who literally keeps us on our toes every week. We are slowly but surely making him a fan of Days of Our Lives. All right, so let's get things started with Michael Mattis' favorite storyline. We have the Jack, Eve, Haley, Trip, Claire, JJ storyline, and a bunch of other people who are a part of it.
It's so hot in here, I can't think. I'm just sitting here sweating.
Cool yourself down. Have a glass of water from your Brady.
I do, from the Brady Pub. Yeah. Brought to you by the Brady Pub.
Okay, so here's the thing. I was with the immigration officer who was interviewing Trip and Haley, and there was a part of me that was like, girl, I'm with you. Like, I don't buy it either, and I've been watching it since it happened. But then there was a part of me that was like, you know what? There have been stories of people who have met and like a month later were married and have been married for 20, 30, 40 years.
It's a plausible situation.
Yes.
But the factor in this that makes it not plausible is that she's undocumented. So it looks suspicious. It's not entirely unplausible that two people can meet and want to get married within a month.
True.
But with that factor in it, that's what makes it look suspicious to her. And as an ICE officer, she probably sees this a lot.
Well,
so she probably goes in like with suspicion.
Oh no, she came in and was like, "Hi, how you doing? I am your immigration officer, and just to let you know, I don't believe in fairy tales." I was like,
she's rough. She's had a hard life.
She's like I all of a sudden
she's seen some stuff.
I all of a sudden pictured that job interview like, you know, what type of movies do you like? Anything where love doesn't exist. You're hired. You know what I mean? Like like the person can't go in and go, oh my gosh, I believe in love and I
True.
believe in butterflies. My favorite movie is Enchanted. How do you know? You know, they'll be like, no.
Extra. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Huh, no,
that was my musical moment. Don't take that away from me. Don't steal my joy.
No, I'm not stealing your joy.
But then there was another clutch your pearls moment when the officer was like, and what about this kiss? I was like, were you peeping through the windows?
I know.
And
How
knew
did she know about that? But how did she know about that?
She
someone
said
told...
she said that Jack was the one that revealed that Haley and Haley and JJ kissed
because JJ told him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, y'all covered that up real good. But my first thought was like they've been in like the bushes.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. They've been watching. They got spies.
That's my spot. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be the perfect gift. There you go. All right, I did it longer.
Shout out to the podcast listeners.
That's
Shout
right.
out to the podcast listeners.
So yeah.
So we got a visit from Melinda earlier in the week, who something's happening with her. I'm not quite sure what, but she had a picture of Haley when Haley was younger.
Yes.
Same picture that Haley had.
Yes.
You know, during the ending of, it's not from the storyline, but the ending of Monday's episode where Jordan was singing, "Hush, little baby,
what was it,
don't
Michael?
say a word." I'm not
Keep
singing
going.
anymore. Nope.
Keep going.
I don't remember. I don't.
Go on.
No.
Go on.
Anyway, so Jordan was singing, and they were going back and forth from the storylines, and she was looking at that photo. So I'm wondering what's going on there.
Well, everyone is speculating that Melinda Trask is actually Haley's mother and not her sister.
That would be a predictable outcome.
But it's like, oh, you were fast, honey, because you had that baby young.
Yeah.
Like real young.
Real young.
Real young. We're not judging. We're judging.
Well, I think that's been a storyline. That was the storyline in the movie Soap Dish. Not, I don't know if it was a storyline on an actual show, but in Soap Dish, when Sally Field's character had the baby, but was raised by her grandparents. Baby was raised by her grandparents, and then Sally Field's character was just the kid's aunt, but it turned out that she was really her mom.
So soapy.
So soapy, yeah. Have you seen that movie Soap Dish?
I have not.
You should. It's really funny.
I hope it's
As
on
a soap fan, you'd appreciate. And there's some Days of Our Lives people. Stephen Nichols makes a cameo.
I think we talked about that with Stephen Nichols when he was here.
Yeah.
Do you think that Melinda is? Which, by the way, I love the fact that they have Melinda back.
Yeah, me too.
I actually
I missed her.
I do too. Like I used to dislike Melinda, but then when they brought her into this storyline, I actually grew to like her and actually would like to see more of her.
Yeah.
And again, really wish that they had kept her in this storyline and kept her a part of the
as a mayoral candidate.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I think that there's some great stuff there that could be explored, especially with like Abe being one type of mayor, Melinda being one type of mayor, and Jack being one type of mayor.
Yeah.
And I mean, sure, it's great to have like, you know, Jack and Abe kind of added, but I like that added element of Melinda.
Exactly, the third element of Melinda.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been good. So it was nice to see her, and I don't think this is the last we've seen of her.
No.
I think they're starting a new track with this storyline.
Yeah.
Or Trask.
Yeah.
With the storyline. So boom. Thank you. So yeah, and then like I said, Claire was just cracking me up all week with her like, oh my God, it's the not
happy
newlywed,
couple.
the happy couple.
Oh my goodness, I'm so happy for y'all.
And then later in the week, when they were at the rally and they were chanting "Send her back, send her back,"
Claire.
And she was like, "Send her back."
Yes,
And she
Claire
like,
was
"What?"
all about it.
She was like, "What? I gotta make it look real."
Which is how she was like, every time Jack said something, yeah, no, yeah, send her back. I was laughing so hard.
I
Claire.
was kind of happy they did that, because when they started like that whole chanting, it made me a little. I just had a ew moment.
Did you snap?
Did I snap?
Did you say yes?
No.
What'd you
no, I didn't like it. I didn't like
Wait,
the send her back. It was just a little too like, I was like, if I was in that town square, I would run.
But I mean,
because those are not the kind of people I want to associate with.
This is true, but it goes with, that political end of that.
I think it was Ron's way of paying homage to when during Clinton and Trump's election when they were saying lock her up. I think this was like their version of lock her. It was send her back. Yeah.
Did you have a moment when Eve was talking at the podium before she introduced Jack that it was kind of like, why aren't you running for mayor?
I know. I'm like, who's running here? Why is she doing all the talking? She gave that big long speech, and then she said, "Now here's your candidate, Jack Devereaux."
And it's like, what?
Yeah, I did. I had a not that exact thought, but a thought of why are you doing all the speaking? Why isn't the actual candidate doing the speaking?
And I was very happy that the file is missing and didn't play, but the connection that Jennifer and Jack had, because Jennifer is very quick to like tell Jack about himself. And then when she made the discovery, like, you actually do care. Like, my Jack is actually in there.
Oh yeah, he's in there.
And when they had that moment of just like connecting and like, it was almost as if Jack was remembering or rediscovering the love for Jennifer. And Jennifer was almost kind of saying, come back. Yeah. Come on back.
I think that's triggered with, I think JJ's the one that triggers that for him. Yeah. I don't think it's Jennifer mostly. I mean, Jennifer's, the one that he's, remembering or whatever.
His care for JJ.
I think it's the connection he has with JJ that kind of brings him back to the real Jack.
Yeah.
But then Eve's there to quickly rope him back. And I'm curious if it was Jack actually deleted the video. Yeah. If he had an attack of conscience or something, we don't know. Cause it was just odd. Like, it's odd that I was kind of hoping we would find out what happened to the video file.
No, not till next week.
Not till next week. Yeah, but we got we got a different announcement.
Well, and Jack was thrown off about that announcement. Yeah. He was like, "We're getting married." Jack was like, "Like we are," but the look on Jennifer's face, was devastation.
Yeah,
as if like, you got to be bleeping kidding me with this. Like, I just felt like dear sweet Jennifer Horton was using all kinds of curse words in that look. Yeah.
So
it's and then another announcement to a wedding was Haley and Tripp were like, we're gonna get married tomorrow. I'm like, y'all are just rushing.
Denise Richards got married in 8 days or whatever on Real Housewives. So
oh my god,
I didn't see the wedding, but
I saw the wedding. I watch it. I started watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills for Eileen Davidson, and then I fell in love with Lisa Rinna, and I started loving Erica Jane. Yeah. So like, there's a love for those women, but yeah. If you aren't watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, you can tune in on Bravo on Tuesdays to see Lisa Rinna, who
not during our show, but later on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Not now.
So yeah, and then now JJ is all about this lighter.
Yeah, he's kind of. I thought he, I'm wondering whether he still suspects Claire, because he kind of suspected Claire, and he expressed that to Kayla, that he thought that it's kind of far-fetched, but maybe Claire has the lighter. It's
but now he's thinking it's Ben.
But is he or is he just trying? Does he still have that inkling in his mind?
And he's trying to throw Claire off.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
And she doesn't help herself by getting so defensive right off the bat.
What? Why do you need it? What are you going to do with it? Like, it's just a regular lighter.
So maybe it was that moment where he realized, oh, okay, there's something here, but I need to make her think that I think it's Ben. Or maybe he still does think it's Ben. I just want to say I am totally convinced that it was Claire. I have no... no false impressions of who started the fire anymore. I still wish we would have seen her actually light something on fire, but I'm sold on that.
I just don't understand why it took you so long to be sold. I mean, she had the flashback.
I had to stand by my convictions, Tony. I had to stand by my convictions.
I will say this though, Monday, someone put out an article that was like, Claire has a twin, and and there's a twin, and blah blah blah. It was an April Fool's article.
That's funny. I missed that one.
And even, I think Martha Madison saw it and was like, what? Oh, and then she realized she got too. And I was like, girl, they got me too. Because I was reading the article like, really? Like, there was and they were like, oh, she got switched during, while she was in South Africa. And Claire is actually like tied up somewhere. And the twin came and is doing all this stuff.
That was a smart trick, because I would not put it past Any of
days
the
to
soap
do that,
operas,
right?
Any of the soap operas to do that. There's twins all over. Everyone has a twin. So I would not have put it past them
And then at the
to
end,
do that.
yeah.
But
And then at the end, it was like April Fools, and I was like, "Oh my God, I got," because I really thought it was a for realsies.
man, I missed that. That's a good one though.
Yeah. And shout out to I don't know if I've said this already, but I did love Jordan singing about her baby or singing to her baby. She just had some blankets wrapped up like a baby. And as she was singing, it was cutting to all these different storylines.
I love it when they
that
end
was
an
happening.
episode like that. Like they do like a music, and they kind of do a montage of everything. But
I
the
thought it
way
was so beautiful because
Me
I
too.
thought it was just going to be a moment, but then she kept singing, and I was just like, oh my God, this is like the most beautiful cinematography of a soap.
I feel like they do that when they're kind of shifting when they're kind of shifting the path of storylines, when they're kind of doing it all at once, and that's kind of their signal to us that there's a new path coming.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can put it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Chriselle Hartley, shout out to her for her lovely singing voice. She can act, she can sell real estate, and she can sing.
Yes.
So shout out to Chriselle.
I wonder when she was singing, I was wondering like how she felt about, because I feel like I would be very nervous if they were like, you're supposed to sing this. I'm like, what?
Well, but sing it and then to this baby that's not real, which I'm sure actors have to do all the time with a baby.
Yes.
But then like to emote the way that kind of be sad about it. And speaking of Jordan and her baby, let's go next storyline.
So Ray found the baby. And
it really quick too.
Yeah,
he did a lot in a little time.
And apparently the baby is 6 months old. That's a huge baby. But Rafe left the baby in the care of Lonnie and Eli. Now this is where we have snap days. You tried my entire life in a good way. The baby was born 6 months ago, which it would have been 6 months for Lonnie and Eli's baby.
Little David.
Who's Jordan's baby's name too.
Yep.
So there were a lot of like moments in that.
Do you think that...
No, that's not their baby.
Okay, well no, the baby's white. So...
Well, listen.
I mean, things have happened, but... do you think that there's going to be... So you don't think there's going to be any connection? You think it was just a coincidence? The 6 months thing is just a coincidence? Or do you think that that's going to be a mechanism for a storyline?
I think it's all a coincidence, but I think it's a way to reignite the connection that Lonnie and Eli have.
I see. Yeah, I kind of see a custody. Who's going to get this baby? That's how I see this going. It's going to develop into who gets the baby.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
That's what I think. I mean, that's like when you introduce a baby without parents or one parent that's incapacitated, you know, and it could go, who knows how many ways.
But the other key thing is that Rafe said he tracked down Rafe does a lot of stuff.
He did a lot during that quick trip to California. Knocked on doors and
he said he
contacted child services.
Went to the hospital, found the birth certificate
California
that had an address. The address had is where the baby was being kept with supplies and money that was given to Jordan's friend. He said that the baby daddy was blank on the birth certificate. So now it's like another who the daddy moment.
Yeah.
And then and Hope went and told Ben about this baby as well. So there's a lot going on with this baby.
There's a lot going on with the baby.
There's a lot of
already
unanswered questions about this baby.
I am hoping that this is a way to bring Eli and Lonnie back to the front burner, since they've just kind of been in the background whenever they need
having their just desserts.
Yes, and just kind of whenever they need a police officer, they're there. They're there together. But I would like for them to be featured a little more, and I'm sure a lot of people would. So, and then Sierra and Ben, Cian.
Wait, are we? Oh yes, Sierra and Ben.
I mean, it's all one kind of story.
She was not happy. Well, first of all, Ben. You can't be running after no Mexican cartel by yourself.
No.
You better get somewhere and sit down with that broke hand. I was like, what are you gonna do?
I mean, he's got the one gun, so he has something. But Yeah.
Bye-bye.
What about his new sugar shack that he's living in?
Oh,
Here? Did you
yeah.
notice there's like a guitar and a walker and some random.
Well, I just
What
couldn't-
was the explanation? I know there was an explanation, but I think I
feel like
missed it.
I missed the
It's like a
explanation.
it's a back house on the Demira. It's still on the Demira property. I remember.
Oh wait,
that
is it
much.
where Xander used to live?
No, he was on the Kyriakis property. Right. That was a back house on the Kyriakis property.
You're right.
This one is on the Demira property, I believe. I'm sure someone in the chat room will know.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was just noticing like all the trinkets and like the prop master. They were just like, get some random stuff and put it on
Just
set,
put it
and
in
that's
here.
what they did. All kinds of stuff. It's an old groundskeeper's place on the
yes.
Demira property.
Aaron Brody said, "All these damn babies."
All these damn Ben needs a deep cleaning in his house for sure. And there was no
Yeah.
like gardening tools. I feel like a groundskeeper's house would have like rakes and lawnmower. I don't know. I'm looking way too far into it, so I should just.
Hello,
accept it
Willa.
for what it is. Hi, Willa. She was the first one in the chat room today.
She was. Well, she was in there hours ago saying hi.
We love Willa. She's so cute.
So and then yeah. So I mean, there wasn't much to them this week.
Rafe and Hope are still having problems, and Ted
Hope
is still there.
Wait, Hope has a point. Every time a woman is in distress, Rafe just leaves her and goes to help. And
He's being a bad husband in, like, his intent isn't bad. He does not have bad intentions, but he is being a bad husband because he's not paying attention to his wife. He's not making his wife a high priority. He's making all these other women a high priority. And even though in his mind he's doing good deeds, like it's doing a disservice to his marriage.
I think so too. I'm not here for Rope. Like I think it just never connected to me.
No, me neither. I mean, I didn't strongly dislike it. It was just there, and I accepted it. But I kind of like Hope and Ted. I like that pairing better.
I do like Hope and Ted, but also Ted, you walked into Doug's place, and that wasn't your cue to like kiss Hope.
No, but she kissed
Hope,
back.
Hope kissed back.
She kissed back. That wine went to her head.
Okay, so when Rafe, Hope, and Ted were in the investigation or in her office, and Rafe was like, "Aren't you quitting? Like, haven't you turned in your resignation?" And he was like, "No, Abe wouldn't accept it." So
That's
I'm
a
here
point
to
we
stay.
missed. Yeah, that's a point I think we. I don't know what storyline that fell under, but he tried to resign, and Abe. It was in
Abe
front
said
of
no.
Abe said no because it was in front of Eve and Jack.
Yeah.
And didn't want to make it look. He didn't want to give Eve and Jack
Something
an
else.
idea that he didn't properly vet the DA.
Right.
So-
But did you look at Hope when that exchange was happening between
No.
Rafe and Ted? Because Hope was like, Hope always does this like removal of the hair and then the look up. If I could do the eyebrow, I would. Oh my God! Oh, I just saw myself like doing it. It looks good.
GIF. So many GIF moments.
Oh my God, so many. I like Hope and Ted a lot.
Okay.
So
See where that goes.
Megan said, since that kiss was at the end, I wonder if it was real or a daydream.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
a good point.
Could be either.
That's
You
a
can
good
never
point.
trust the end of a Friday's episode when something like that happens.
Although Nicole Silver says, I do not see a lot of chemistry between Ted and Hope. So do you see chemistry between Hope and Rafe? Okay, that's interesting. All right.
Bring back Aiden. Well, they kind of ruined Aiden, but
They
I guess
ru-
that
they
I guess we
ruined
can't
Aiden.
wish for
like
that.
That ship has sailed.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All
All
right.
right. Next.
So then we have Chloe, Stefan, Gabby, and Brady. Okay, so this week I am not for Chloe and Stefan
Why is that?
because Chloe is so resistant that it doesn't allow me to be like, no, Chloe, you should go for it.
Okay.
He's so ready and she is not, and it doesn't make me feel like there's something there.
Okay. Do you think it's too fast?
It is.
I think so too. Like he really
he's ready.
He was so and maybe this is maybe it goes along with his personality. He became so obsessed with Gabby with a Y, and then Gabby with a Y / Abigail's gone, and now all of a sudden he sees maybe. Is he so desperate? Are they right? Is he so desperate to have a family and a connection with someone that he's just like, Chloe's here, she's pretty. Okay, now I'm gonna become obsessed. Now he's obsessed with her and starting something with her. And yeah, she has a right. She's like, I've got drug cartel people after me in my family. But she's you know, she seems open to it at least.
See, I feel like.
But after that part of it settles down, I think.
So here's the thing. This situation could be compared to another couple, Rafe and Sammy, because they fell in love in the safe house.
Right.
Right. So you almost have to picture the DeMera mansion as a safe house, and Chloe should feel safe with Stefan to almost make the love of that ooze out like it did with Sammy and Rafe.
Okay.
And I just don't feel that with them. Now, I can tell you what I do like as of this week. Next week, it could change. I liked the interaction between Gabby and Brady.
Me too.
And how they were, how Brady presented this way of like taking DeMera down and basically having Gabby in total control of DeMera and of Stefan, and then being like, just like stomping him like a roach.
I just had a vision, and I don't know. Did you watch?
Oh, Celeste, how you doing?
The cards, darling.
No problem, darling.
No problem, darling.
Okay. The cards, darling.
Did you watch Ugly Betty?
No.
You never watched Ugly Betty?
No.
Damn. Okay.
But keep going.
Do you know who the characters are? Do you remember Vanessa Williams' character?
I'm gonna shake my head and pretend like I do.
Okay.
Just so you
there
can
was a
have
scene
your
in
story.
Ugly Betty where Vanessa Williams' character takes over the company, and she comes out of the elevator in slow motion, and I have a vision of Gabby doing that, like taking over, like down the line, and like entering the DeMera mansion, all fabulous, and just storming the DeMera mansion.
Oh, see, if you had said Miranda Priestley elevator, I could have imagined that.
Oh,
more.
okay, yeah, that's another one. That's
Yeah.
another power elevator moment.
Sure, I'm all about it, because you can tell Gabby is a boss, because even when Brady was presenting the idea of having her, you know, go after Stefan in a loving way and then take over DeMera so that way she can also be in control of Gabby Chic, and she was like, honey, I already kissed him. I mean, you late. I've already set that trap.
Yeah.
But there's a fieriness between Gabby and Stefan that I like, that reminds me of the passion that Sammy and EJ had.
Yep. Okay. I was thinking the same thing this week. You and I were on the same page there.
And then there's this like new love blossoming that could happen between Gabby and Eric. I mean, Gabby and Brady.
Yeah.
That I like.
We're never gonna get that straight, by the way. We're gonna keep calling him Eric.
I know.
Anyway, like I was thinking, there are so many different ships that could come out of this storyline, and I think the one that would be the most entertaining would be Gabby and Stefan.
Yes.
But I do feel that, you know, Camila and Eric have chemistry. Camila and Brandon have chemistry. Nadia and Eric have chemistry, so it could be a Chloe and Brady could eventually end up together.
I'm not on board with that yet.
I'm just saying it's a possibility.
It is.
But there's a lot of chemistry involved with this ensemble of people, and so many possibilities. And but yeah, I would be curious to see what they would do with a Gabby and Stefan. Would it be a hate to love kind of thing where they would eventually, you know,
kind of like
be each other's lobsters?
They're both kind of playing each other and playing this in a way of like, you want me, don't you? You know what I mean? Like it feels like that.
The cat and mouse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So
kind of like that, teasing and tantalizing.
And then Eric was kind of mixed in there because of his mess. He went to Brady and said, like, you can't blackmail me anymore.
Oh yeah.
He took back the power from that
he
situation.
Sure did. And Eric was and Brady was like, really?
Like literally. Air out of tires.
Yeah. So
all right.
Bam. There's that. All right. We have a little bit of news.
Little business. We just wanted to say thank you for making AfterBuzz TV the ESPN of TV talk, and for continue for us to grow. We need your help. If you're on YouTube right now watching us, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. And if you're listening on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating and make a comment, preferably a positive comment. But if you have an issue, let us know. But no matter where you are or where you're listening, leave us a comment so you can get involved in the conversation. Being a part of AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to all of us, and we truly appreciate you supporting us in what we love to do. Don't forget to tell your friends and keep enjoying our shows. Share the links and just keep enjoying. Keep tuning in.
That announcement brought to you by the kind folks here at AfterBuzz TV. All right, Sarah, Eric, and Rex. First of all,
this is such an odd. I am not here for any of it, really.
You know why? Because there's things that are unspoken. Because Eric is not confessing to Sarah how he truly feels. Sarah is not being real with herself and saying, I don't really want to be with Rex, but Eric doesn't want to be with me, so there's that.
But the weird part of it is that I feel like they've kind of, like, Rex knows he won by default.
He doesn't care.
And he doesn't care. That's so weird.
It's kind of like as long as I've won.
I get. That's so odd, and he seems so happy about it.
And in the end, he's got the girl.
I guess.
No matter how you get her, you just got to get her. But Maggie...
We got some more shirtlessness from Kyle Louder, so...
Oh, that towel drop.
And his... Yeah.
That was great. You know I love a good
Hello
towel
Bell
drop.
says, Eric is a bum, LOL.
But I love the conversation that... What?
Scott Holston says, they gave Sarah bangs. I'm done.
I like the way they make her look.
She's cute.
She's very cute.
They make her look cute.
I like the conversations that Maggie had with Sarah and also with Rex being like,
very honest.
You know what? Like you cheated on her multiple times. Like I don't get why this is even happening. But I love the fact that she also spilled a little bit of tea. She did a little salt bay on him and was like, as far as like how Eric and Sarah truly feel about each other, or how Sarah truly feels about Eric.
Yeah.
And Rex was like, hold up. She said it was a crush. What'd she tell you? And Maggie's like, receipts? Maybe?
There was also someone mentioned Daniel. And I think was it the Rex to Maggie?
Yes, because it was like, how can you forgive Eric for killing Daniel? And she was just like, I had to get rid of the anger.
She's already reconciled that.
Yeah, and it's like there's nothing that I can do to bring Daniel back. Like basically me being upset and not forgiving is not going to change the situation.
Right.
However, you cheating, you're still
Multiple
here,
times,
you're still around. Like
there is something she can do about.
Yeah, there's something that she can do about that. You know, so I was like, all right, I'm here for it.
And
Victor,
not a fan.
Victor laid in.
He was
Sarah.
so happy about it too.
He was like,
he got so much joy out of it.
He was like, engaged to what? Like just all his little one-liners, and he kept. And every time Maggie would like shoot him a look, like shut up, he'd be like. And then would keep talking.
Yeah, no lock on that mouth.
The shade of Victor is so real, and I love it because he was so blunt, and just all of his.
And he got so much joy out of it.
Yeah,
he was all happy. I think he was happy about getting the annulment papers, right, from Leo and Sonny.
He just kept reading it over and over again, and then for Sarah to sit down with her news, it was kind of like. I just in my mind hear what Days of Our Lives, the song that they played, the do 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 do. You know when something like crazy happens.
I know. Yeah. No, I got it. Got it. Speaking of Victor, he had. He done
already had her since.
He had a proposition from Kate.
I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at this either. I loved Kate and Victor together way back in the day.
Yep.
First when Deborah Adair was playing Kate, she had her plane crash, came back as Lauren Koslow, And she and Victor, it was short-lived. It was only a few months before Victor had his stroke. But one thing that I feel like they kind of gloss over is that Victor and Kate did have like a love for each other. Like after Victor had his stroke, Victor was her number one for years until Nicholas Alamain came along.
Yeah. Nicholas Alamain.
But so they tend to focus on the tumultuous aspects of Victor and Kate's relationship and not the fact that they did love each other. They did have a son. They did battle people together. And granted, Kate did try to kill him, I think, more than once. But I do see them working well together, and I'm kind of here for it. I think that they would make a great. I'm not for them. I don't know if I'm for them getting back together in a romantic.
No,
sense,
but her
be
working
like,
at Titan.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And then working together to take down Namera. I like that. And then I also like Brady and Gabby working together to take down Namera.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
everyone's taking down Namera.
And then I can swoop in as Terrence Namera and
You can be
like
Kate's,
build it back up.
You want to be Kate's intern?
Actually,
How fabulous would that job be?
someone, oh, that would be great. someone messaged me, John messaged me on Facebook and was saying that my new character, I should give up Maxine's son, and my new character should be Terrence Demera, and I come back as a Demera.
I can see that.
Yeah, and that my mom would be Stefano and Celeste, and I also have visions.
Okay.
But he said I also have to deliver everything in an accent.
You can do it.
So basically, and then I like to keep it gay. So then
Keep it gay.
So if I were talking to like Will, I'd be like, "Hello, darling, how are you? In the cards, I see that you have been cursed, and I know how to alleviate that curse from you." Gosh, Steve, you're great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyway, moving on. That's just my own little.
Moving on to another.
Speaking of,
Will, Sonny, and Gabby, and then Kate and Roman were there to support. So
this curse, I can't with this curse.
I
can't.
I'm not really.
I can't.
I mean, we all know that
I
Will,
can't.
like, it's not a curse. Well, like the assumption in my mind is Will is having health problems because of he did what he did with the serum months ago.
That's what someone else said.
Like, that's what I originally thought. Like, I know that Leo put that curse on him, but then when he was having health problems, my logical side came out, and I'm like, this isn't a curse.
Well, because also there's more tests that are being ran, and so
Right.
I'm sure we're going to get those test results next week. But it's kind of like, again, it's the same feeling that I had for Sierra. Like, oh my God, girl, you can't keep getting kidnapped and tied up and all this kind of stuff. And I feel like this about Will and Sonny. It's like, okay, like
Just let him be settled and happy for a while.
breathe for a second, and then let's add some more.
Then
hoopla.
get drama in there.
Yeah.
We're down to 2 gays, and they're the 2 resident gays of Salem now. It's time for.
We were doing so great in
We
building the
were.
gay community. We had Paul, we had Leo, but before Leo, we had Derek, the bellhop.
I remember.
I mean, this was great. And then we had hot bartender.
Man bun.
So great. Oh, and shout out to Will and Sonny mentioning Grindr.
Okay,
I died.
Okay, 2019, the year a gay dating app gets a product placement on a daytime soap opera. I'm convinced that was like product placement because
Do you think so?
I don't think they would have used the name Grindr had Grindr not paid them. I think they would have made a different name. You know what I mean? And they mentioned it twice. So
True.
this is like the 2019 gay version of what's her name saying she had cramps and putting out a thing of Midol. Was that Sammy or Ariana or I think it was Ariana.
It was
Lindsay Hartley.
It was a lot of people who did that. I remember Carolyn Brady bringing out the meals you cook for families. There was a Cheerios one. Those product placements were hilarious.
Yeah. So I do think that was a legit product placement. But kudos to Days for infusing gay culture and all of its glory. Into the
we're
show.
here for it because
Yeah,
I
me
feel like
too.
a lot of people all of a sudden research what Grindr was.
What's Grindr? Oh my.
And that was that. Everyone was just concerned about Will and his health, and he's getting more tests, and there's that. Abe and Sheila. I like that Sheila is just kind of there for Abe.
And she's his champion right now.
Yes, and now you can tell that their relationship has definitely grew. And I don't think it's anything romantic. I think it's just a really great friendship.
That's
that
what
they
I'm
have.
hoping, yeah.
And that, like, and sometimes she feels offended, like, okay, fine, I get it. Like, Hood Sheila, you know, can't come, you know, and give bougie Abe advice. but I find that they find common ground. And that they're there to support each other. So I am all about it. I'm here for it. I like it.
All right, and that was the week.
And that was your week of days. And now it's before we move on, I have to give a shout out to so Michael Mattis, you were not here last week, but I'm pretty sure
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
So last week, I asked for a wonderful compilation video of all things shirtless of our favorite hunk, Robert Scott Wilson. And literally, once we did the show and I left, I got a message from Tammy that was like, oh my God, look on Twitter. And I saw this wonderful compilation video to Muscles by Diana Ross that was put together by, I'm like stringing this along because I'm trying so hard to find the person who did this and give her a huge shout out. Is this it? No, it's not it.
Talk amongst yourselves.
I know, right? I'll have to find out who it is. And then I'll give a big shout out. But it was great. So there's that. But we're gonna start off with our segments now, and we'll start with mine, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Oh, snap! All right, now y'all know I love a good Shade Fest, and the Shade Fest of them all came from the Shade King on Tuesday's episode. Victor was laying it in, sipping tea, living his life, going after Sarah. I was there for it. I lived for it, and he would not stop, and he laid into her, and I was like, Victor, yes. So, John Aniston, Victor Kiriakis, for the shadiest of the shadiest this week, you get Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Oh, snap! All right, and now it's time for... Caption that.
All right. Moving along with Victor, this week's caption picture comes from the scene of Victor throwing shade at Sarah and Maggie's oh so delightful reactions to Victor's little comments. And so this week's caption goes to Gioia, Gioia.83, did not have a real name on there, on Instagram, Gioia.83 on Instagram, with Sarah saying, "Did you hear that, Mom? Victor says my bangs aren't on trend."
Oh my gosh.
I thought it was funny.
I love the bangs.
I thought it was cute. No, she looks cute.
She looks great.
Anyway,
and that was
this week's Caption That.
Caption That. And a big shout out to Marissa at MAngelB0899, who tweeted, as requested by at Lounging with Tony, here is at Mr. Robert Scott Muscle Montage to Muscles. I hope it's everything you pictured in your head. And it was. I absolutely live for it. I'll retweet it again so that you guys can watch it. All right, let's get into some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
We're going to start with my regular announcement. Mark your calendars, ladies and gentlemen, because your favorite LGBTQIA characters are coming to Washington, D.C. on June 29th for Daytime Pride, an event brought to you by Spectrum Celebrity Events. We will have myself, who will be hosting the event, along with Freddie Smith, Van Hansis, which I have been corrected on how to say that many a times, Jake Silverman, Greg Rickard, Cameron Grimes, and Ryan Carnes will all be in attendance. So make sure you get your tickets at www.spectrumcelebrityevents.com. That's June 29th in good old Washington, D.C.
They say. All right, and here they are, the official 11 categories for this year's second annual DISHIN Days Awards.
Yay!
We will be taking submissions for nominations on our Instagram account this week, So head on over there and have your voices heard. And now, without further ado, here are the categories. Tony, take it away.
We are first starting with Best Character Exit. We had so many characters leave the lovely city of Salem, but which do you think had the best exalt? So make sure you give out your nominations for Best Character Exit.
And conversely, we have Best Character Return. We had many people returning to Salem, whether they were wanted or not. So shade. So who did you like returning? We had Jack, we had Eve, we had Xander a few times. Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah, several. I think what's her name? Jen Lilly. Teresa.
Yes.
Teresa
came back.
So yeah, cast your vote for that.
Yep. And then, of course, we have Best Couple. There are so many couples holding hands and running through the lily of the fields in Salem, and we want to
So
find
many
out
ships.
which one is your favorite couple. Could it be the Sin ship? Could it be Wilson? Could it be some other potential couples that are happening? We want to hear from you. Nominate your best couple for this year's second annual Dishin Days Awards happening now.
And if you prefer fighting over love, we have Best Fight. It can be a slap fest. It can be a down and out brawl like Eric and Brady always have.
Every year.
It can be a verbal fight. It can be shade throwing. It can be anything you want. Best Fight.
Now, of course, you know I love a good towel drop, and we love all the shirtlessness that's happening. So this year we added Best Gracious Shirtlessness. So,
Gratuitous.
What did I say?
Gracious. I mean, we're gracious for the gratuitous shirtlessness.
Okay,
but
that's
it's gratuitous.
That. There's my
Gratuitous.
my college degree working as we speak. So vote for the best shirtlessness ever in the history of this year of days.
The history of this year. We had many moments this year, too.
We did.
They are giving us beefcake galore.
Yes.
Next, we have Best Kodak Moment. What is a moment from this year that a picture-perfect moment worth 1,000 words that you just want to look at over and over and over and over again? Best Kodak Moment. Kodak Moment.
Kodak. And of course, we've had some wonderful new characters that have come into Salem. So we want to find out who the best new character is. So make sure you nominate your favorite character of all time. That is Hit the Salem.
Hit the Salem.
That's Hit the Salem. There we go.
Oh, Lord. Oh, and if romance...
Yeah, we're still going.
Oh, I know, right? Damn. If love is more your speed, you can vote for the best wedding. We had a few this year, a few simple weddings and a few grand events, a la John and Marlena. So cast your vote for who you think should win best wedding.
And even the ones that really weren't supposed to be weddings can be voted for best weddings.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then we have most shocking moment. There have always been those clutching of the pearls moments that make us go, So we want to find out what's the most shocking moment for you that has rocked the city of Salem. Most shocking moment.
You can do the next one.
And, of course, y'all know I love to give snaps around here, so we are looking for the Snaps for Life Award. Who do you think is worthy of not one, not two, but three?
Oh, snap!
Thank you. From yours truly. So we are looking for the Snaps for Life Award nominations.
And lastly, our 11th and final award, since our lovely Tammy is not here this week, she is working.
She's always working.
Always working. The Style Icon Award. Who do you think was the most fashion-forward person in Salem? It can be man.
I love
it can
the
be a lady or a man.
I
or
love
a
the
mix.
fact that you're presenting this one.
Why? Because I'm not fashion-forward at all.
Well,
I mean, I'll admit that.
no.
Why?
That wasn't a question.
Oh, Lord. He thinks he's Miranda.
I do live by the words of Miranda.
The words of Miranda. Okay.
Yes.
And those are our awards, 11. So 11 awards. We're going to post them on Instagram. Each category is getting its own post. And
Yes.
then it'll be a free-for-all, not a free-for-all, but feel free to post who you think we should nominate. And then next week we will announce the official nominations. We're not going to do this pre-nomination stuff. We go straight into the nominations.
Yeah.
And then the week before the Daytime Emmys, which is
April
Sundays
28th.
from now?
Yeah.
3 Sundays from now, we will announce the winners.
I'm looking forward to it. I hope I
Me
win.
too. gratuitous shirtlessness.
Oh no! Let me tell you, that's something you don't want to see. But we do now have joining us in the studio someone who has visited us before, and someone that we
recognize him.
Used to usually enjoy with his shirt off. Yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed it a few times. That's a whole nother topic. We have
On the show, or what are we talking about
where
here?
the snaps coming in here. We have Mr. Kevin Spiritus here with us, along with the beautiful Carla Renata.
Hey,
Hey, how are y'all doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
With your snaps and your fashion commentary.
There is a lot going on. Now, we heard that y'all were in the studio because, Carla, you are going to be interviewing the ever so handsome Kevin.
Yes.
Eight Emmy nominated.
Yes.
For After Forever.
Yes, and we've had Kevin on the show to talk about your web series
A year ago.
Yeah, and now here we are, 8 nominations later.
It's very
in the daytime
exciting.
Emmys.
After Forever, the series is now on Amazon and BingeNetwork.tv, and we are gratefully up for 8 Emmy nominations, including
That's amazing.
Best Drama, Digital Drama Series, Best Directing, and Best Writing.
Yes.
And you won some indie series.
We won the
awards.
Indie Series Award for Best Drama Ensemble.
Awesome.
Ensemble.
Ensemble.
Awesome.
And the curvy critic right here, my darling friend, Renata, Carla Renata. I say I want to go to the last name.
Renata.
Carla Renata. We used to go by Renata.
You've been calling me Renata my whole life.
I know.
It's all good.
But Carla and I go back to St. Louis days when we were both 16 and
We went to high school.
15. And,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we worked at Six Flags over Mid-America together, and we carpooled, and here she is.
And here I am
I
supporting
love
my good
this.
friend.
Awesome.
Look at that. See, you never know how
Where
life is
life's
going
gonna
to take you.
take you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always used to say it on this show. Like, I was a huge fan of Days when I was 14, and never.
So was Mike. That's when
We first met 20 years ago when I was a little 19.
Oh my gosh.
Like
At
gay
the-
lit,
little
yeah.
tiny tot for Christ.
Actually, I was a full-grown adult, 19 years old,
Oh.
not really a kid, but I was young at heart. But yeah,
Oh, you're still young at
long
heart.
time.
But you
I try
never
to be.
know how like your paths will take you.
Yeah.
No, we've kept up with each other over the years.
Yeah.
We made a concerted effort to stay in contact with one another, and I was teasing him outside the studio because when the Emmy nominations came out, I was like, oh, let me see who's been nominated. And when I saw his name, I'm like, oh, okay. So I picked up the phone and I called him to tell him, and he sobbed, honey, like the biggest baby you ever want. I was like, are you crying?
I was touched.
Are you
I
crying?
was touched. I
And
was
I told
touched.
Mom, I was like, Mom, Kevin cried when I called him. It was hilarious.
Oh, I'm glad you found it hilarious.
It was
I was
hilarious.
moved.
I was moved that you were moved, but it was also funny.
We
Just
were.
saying.
It was a moving day.
I bet.
Because you saw this through. This is your baby from start to finish.
Well,
And not
it's
finished, but yeah.
half of it's my baby.
Okay.
Michael
Yeah.
Slade, who
Yeah.
is a Days of Our Lives alum writer. He and I met each other in New York, and we both had ideas to create content that talked about gay men in their 50s because.
Nobody
once
was
you're-
talking about it.
Nobody's
No.
talking about it. And once you're 35 or 40 in our world, you are written out of the creative canvas. And that's what inspired the idea, and that's where we went together and started creating. And so we both saw it through, but I'm grateful that it actually stuck to the wall.
Yeah, I'm happy for it because you are right. I think that once people don't realize that there is life after 35, 40 for gay men, and that's all we see depicted on TV right now are like younger, like mid-30s, gay men.
Or you're Christopher Plummer, you're an old man down the hall with a cat. And truthfully, it's true. And I actually confided in Michael Slade, and I said, I don't see roles coming down the pike for me anymore. No name on it for me. And so we kind of got going. We got busy working.
Yeah.
Yeah, I overstand. I need to follow your lead.
I will help you. I think
'Cause,
I
honey,
think this.
It's even worse when you are curvy and black and over a certain age. You're like non-existent.
Well,
So
your
there's
curves have talent, honey. And
They
you should
do.
hear this woman sing. I know she can still do it too.
Oh, Carla, you didn't tell nobody you knew how to sing.
Oh, yeah, did I just let that out the
Yeah,
back?
you did.
Yeah, I've been on Broadway, honey. He has too.
Uh,
At one point, we were on Broadway at the same time.
What show?
Ooh, I've been in lots of shows,
I,
but
I was doing Meet Me in St. Louis. I was doing Boy from Oz, and you were doing.
was I doing Avenue Q?
Avenue Q.
Yeah, Avenue Q.
Wow. See,
And she was
the more
funny.
You know.
And
Oh, I
singing.
bet. Oh, I bet. I bet. See, the things you don't realize about your fellow AfterBuzz TV hosts until you get them in
Right.
here in the interview
You
seat.
didn't know that about me?
Listen, I'm learning tidbits about you as I go. We pass by. The thing is, Carla and I pass by each other. If you guys are not familiar with Carla not only does the Curvy Girl Critic,
The curvy critic.
the Curvy Critic, but she is also the host for GH Report, which is a recap for General Hospital.
With Frank
and so
Moran.
we do this. It's like, hey girl, how you doing? And then I'm out the door, and she's starting like all her multiple shows that she's about to do. So this is like actually a first for us because we've been able to like sit down and find out
Actually
stuff.
chat, yeah.
So
real quick and FYI, but not really. So I've been on Broadway quite a bit. I was raised in St. Louis, Missouri. My mom and dad were born and raised there as well, and that's how Kevin and I met.
Yeah.
And we've stayed in touch, and so I came here from New York. I came to LA from New York, and I recur on a sitcom on NBC right now called Superstore.
Funny.
That's
Funny.
where I've seen you.
Oh, that's why you
Oh
looking
my-
at me funny?
I'm like,
I feel like the more you know star just needs to go over Michael and I just right now. Just have it just go over us.
I'm like, I know her. I just connected. Yeah,
It's
I love
so funny.
Superstore.
I was at
I
a
love
junket
that
for
show.
Captain Marvel this morning, and people recognized me from Superstore, and were in the hallway taking pictures with me, and then folk were like, "Are you famous?" I'm like, "Girl, no, I'm not."
You are famous.
But I'm not.
You
She's,
are.
you know what?
both of
Carla has one of those recognizable faces,
Mhm.
and
I always
and-
look like somebody you know.
and
That's what it is.
personality that is, just relatable.
Yeah.
And I know you. I recognize
You
you.
know me very well,
So,
a little too well.
are you gonna have to pay him hush money once you like make
No,
it
because
and
she's
make
got
sure
the
no
same
secrets?
thing on me.
They
The
have a mutual
the bodies are buried.
Mutual understanding.
His bodies are buried, and we are not. We're going to our graves with that information.
Yes.
It's like
honey.
no one. It's like you better not say nothing.
It's a mutual society over him.
Yeah.
So Kevin, you're gonna appear on the Curvy Critic.
I
What
am.
are some things you guys are gonna chat about so that the fans
Oh,
can look
Lord.
forward to it?
So
Because
on
this
the-
is gonna be good. Like when two friends get together, like this is
Yeah.
about to be a kiki that's like waiting to happen, and I'm here for it.
So, of course, we're going to talk about Kevin's series and his 8 nominations for After Forever. And then I have a guest co-host from Hip Hollywood, Kevin Frazier's Hip Hollywood. People may recognize that name from Entertainment Tonight. She's Jasmine Simpkins. She's going to guest co-host with me. And we going to talk about all kinds of stuff. Amazing Grace, Little, a film by Mike Lee called Peterloo. I have an interview with Regina Hall for Little. So
Oh,
that'll be
nice.
airing. We got a bunch of stuff we're talking about.
I'm so looking forward to
Yeah, me and
that
Regina Hall
movie.
talking about wigs and hairs. It's gonna be a fun time. I mean,
Are you still talking about that? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Now, Kevin,
Yes.
a little while ago, you mentioned that when Carla called you to congratulate you on your nominations, you were crying. Like, what does this mean for you to receive so many accolades for your work?
It means that the people and the Academy and people, my peers, have acknowledged a long, hard road of work that started 30, maybe 35 years ago.
Yeah.
After Forever has just come most recently, but it meant a lot to me because of where we started. Carla had, she just happened to get me at that spot, that time of the day where it's like, I could just really feel and hear. I was kind of in shock that morning a little bit, and she was one of the first people to call me after my co-writer and my producer. It was Carla, and I was just touched because there's a lot of people in our past and my past who are not here.
Yeah.
Who've worked
Absolutely.
their butts off, and that's what it's about.
Yeah.
The show After Forever is gay thematic, but it's a universal theme about loss and love. Everybody's going to go through loss, and that's no secret. So I just felt very honored, and I'm so proud of her as well. So it was a mutual cry.
Yeah.
But that's what it means to me, is that people are understanding, and they are absolutely in agreement with the message of After Forever.
Mm-hmm. And the 8 nominations that you guys have are Outstanding Writing for a Digital Daytime Drama Series, Outstanding Lead Actor,
Which I share with Mitchell Anderson.
Okay.
If you remember him from Doogie Howser and Party of Five, I called him out of retirement. He lives in Atlanta. He runs a restaurant that he created, and we are both up for Best Actor in a Digital Drama. Katie Huffman and Erin Cherry are Best Supporting Actress, and Anita Gillette for Best Guest Artist.
Wow.
And for those of you who don't know who
Katie Huffman's for All My Children.
and she's the Tony Award-winning actress from Producers. She played Ula. And then also Anita Gillette played Miss Mona in Moonstruck.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, right.
Miss Mona.
She was the curvy
She was the curvy
She was
critic.
the mistress. Yeah, she was the curvy
Oh.
critic. She was
Yeah.
the mistress in the red dress.
And she's a Broadway
Got it.
gal, and she's done.
Yeah.
And this is, I think this is her second. It might be her first Emmy nomination. So, the other thing was we have this incredible cast of talent from everybody in New York. It's a Broadway theatrical cast, and we all are just more proud than we can be.
You guys should be. Big round of applause
yeah.
to you guys for doing some amazing work.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, if you guys want to tune into this interview, which you absolutely should, we are going to post the link on all of our socials, so that way you guys can link and tune in and chat live and find out more about the series, about all the interviews, about Carla, because apparently we're learning a lot about Carla. You can learn a lot more about Kevin, which we're learning a lot more about Kevin too.
And I just want to throw in there. So After Forever is on Amazon Prime right now for the United States and the UK. But on bingenetworks.tv, you can watch it worldwide, anywhere. So
Congratulations on
many
that.
congratulations.
That's so good. And it also it gives me inspiration too, because we now have this platform to create stuff and create stories and tell stories. And now
you couldn't have done it 20 years ago.
No, not at all. My friends and I joke all the time that in college we used to whip out my camcorder and record silly videos of ourselves, and now people are doing that and making money and
Going
putting them
viral,
on YouTube.
yeah.
And we're like, we could have been those people long time
You could have been
ago.
ahead of the curve.
Right.
Listen,
See?
had we
Ahead of the
had we
curvy.
known, head of the curve.
You are so silly.
So make sure you guys tune in at 5 p.m.
5 p.m.
5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to the Curvy Critic. Get all the curves, all the hills. The hills are alive with all the sounds
The
of
hills
music.
are
Said the
alive.
hills are alive. And they're sitting
the
on my
Hills Are
chest.
Alive Part 2. The new
Part 2. The new curves.
The new curve.
Get into all of it. Well, thank you guys for popping in
No
and
worries.
giving us just a tease as to what we're going to see. Y'all, this is going to be good. So make sure y'all tune in and support. And then make sure later on you catch Carla giving you a full recap of General Hospital and what's
Yes.
happening on there, because there's some good stuff happening on there, right?
Yes.
I got some friends on GH. I love watching what's going on in that show right now.
There's some good stuff.
Pretty awesome.
Now I don't watch GH, but every now and then now you can see me in the background.
Oh.
In the background?
Yeah, just having a drink or something. Usually you see me like this.
At the Metro Court?
What bar was I in? It was like Kelly's bar or Charlie's bar.
There's Kelly's, there's Charlie's,
Yeah.
there's the Metro Court.
In the
Yeah.
biz, we like to call that atmosphere.
There's that other the floating rib.
Yes.
So you know I watch.
Floating rib.
That's what it's called, the floating rib.
That sounds like a good joint. I need to go to the floating
Or
rib.
the something rib. It's something about a rib. Some bar. Yeah.
See, all
they
you-
got
all
a
you
lot
heard
of
was
bars.
rib.
They got a lot. Yeah.
Salem has one. Salem's down to one bar, one
has
restaurant.
Yeah, just
And I
it's
think they
all
interchange,
right there
yeah.
in Horton Town Square. Like you can get your entire life. You
You
can
see it at
shop.
Christmas time. You see it at St. Patrick's Day.
Honey,
you see it
Port
Valentine's.
Charles is full effect. They have mini bars and hotels. They even have a ship in the middle of the river dock somewhere, the Haunted Star.
The
Haunted
Star.
Yes.
Sounds like a spinoff.
It does.
They
And-
have a ship in the middle of the harbor there.
Well, let me tell you what boat I'm not getting on.
Yeah.
The Haunted Star. I can go to other reasons why I shouldn't get on a boat, but we ain't gonna keep it cute. So, all right, so we're going to post all the links.
All right.
We're going to let y'all get ready for the interview.
Okay.
And thank you guys for I don't even know where to look. Thank you guys for tuning in as always. And before we head out, Michael Mattis, let the kind folks know where they can stalk you and find you.
You can find me on Instagram at MLMattis and on Twitter at MLMattis1.
And you know what? While we have you guys here, Carla, Renata, let the kind folks know where they can find you and stalk you.
Okay. Well, you can find me across all social media platforms at The Curvy Critic. And you can find any reviews that I write about any movies, new releases, classic, and everything else at thecurvyfilmcritic.com.
And Kevin.
And Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, and see, look at her. Resume. Resume. And Kevin, let the folks know where they can find you and where they can find the show.
At kevinspiritus.com, at kevinspiritus in Instagram, kevinspiritus.com, afterforevertheseries.com, AF the series is on Twitter. Sorry, there's so many afters and so many.
Don't feel bad, Kevin, because for as many times as Michael Mattis has had to do that for himself, he always trips up and gets it wrong.
Yeah, well, he doesn't.
I'm
still learning how to use my phone, and she will let you know.
Oh, he's the worst. He is the worst. How do you do that again? I'm like, come on over here, Grandpa. Let me work it out.
I'm clicking closer.
Well, y'all be sure to tweet Kevin every now and then. Just check on him and make sure he knows how to use the phone.
That's right.
And of course, you guys can find our wonderful show, Dishin Days, on Instagram and Facebook, which is Dishin Days, and on Twitter, _Dishin Days. And you can find little old me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony or my website, loungingwithtony.com. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thanks,
we will see you
guys.
next week for
See you
another
next week.
Dishin Days.
Bye.
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 Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.